Hi everyone, it's Clyde at Vibrant Soap, and today's soap is inspired by Cezanne. And Cezanne's a very important artist. I followed him quite a bit when I was going through art school, and I have to say that he really influenced me. He had a way of looking at his subject matter and tweaking it to really study it well, and as a result made some beautiful paintings. So one of the things he did was he was a transition artist between the 19th and 20th century art movements. He began as an impressionist artist and started to change his work a bit, and eventually ended up influencing the cubist movement. If you take a look at some of his paintings, most notably the paintings of Mont Sainte-Victoire, which is what I'm really inspired by with this particular soap, he was starting to look at subject matter in multi-angles, and that was really what the cubists really started to do. If you think about a cube and you try to think about bending it around so that you can see multi-surfaces, this is what he was doing. So this soap is really a combination of greens, blues, and an ochre bright orange in little spots. We use that as accents in what we're doing with soap making. He used it in very small amounts, but it really added some pop to his paintings. And I'm showing you a couple of my paintings that were influenced by Cezanne. I'm pretty sure I was influenced by a lot of people, but Cezanne in particular. And I started really enjoying doing impressionist works too, with little dabs of color. The idea here is when you pull back, you get to see the colors mix, your eyes mix them, and you get this beautiful effect. But gradually I moved into really exploring cubism myself, so there's some of my cubist works. Again, you can see how you're really kind of distorting surfaces by changing your point of view. So you can see I was really touched by the work of Cezanne as I was going through art school, and now I'm applying that to soap. So let's get started with the color tutorial first, with the blues, greens, and gold and ochres, and then we'll get on with the soap making. So Cezanne is a really good person from the past to study, just because he was very innovative himself, and there's a lot we can learn from him in just taking some chances and pushing the style. The colors that I'm concentrating on for the soap are blue and green, and right across from that is the oranges and orange reds. And that was a big staple of his color palette for the Victoire series that he did. If you look at those paintings, I'll let you see what it is right now so that you can look it up. There's a lot of blue, green, and orange color scheme in there. But he used the orange in very little amounts, and that's how we tend to use accents in our soap. So first of all, let me put some dark, pure colors on my paper here. And I'm going to just show you that he used a little bit of these dark colors in his paintings as line work for detail, to delineate edges basically, and that was really important because the edges and corners of things are very important for the cubist movement that came after him and what he helped to usher in. So I'm just going to show you that he used darks, including black, for his linear work within his paintings, but then he also had these greens. And there are a range of greens, but for the soap's purposes, I can't use a big range of colors just because it's hard to manage all those colors in soap before it starts to solidify. But he had yellow greens, darker greens, yellow greens, if you look at his paintings. So those are some of the greens that I'm going to be putting in the soap. Not quite sure what ones I'm going to use yet. But then also he used some light blues and rich blues. Skies, I don't have my white with me right now, but I can make a white, a lighter blue by just making a thinner blue. So there's that. Make a lighter one yet. Some of his skies are almost white. I can go lighter. There's a lot you can do with watercolors, by the way, just even how much water you apply with them. And then the gold is going to be an accent. And let's see if I can get some of, it's kind of an ochre yellow to orange. So basically I have to take the, when I'm designing these soaps, after being inspired by these artists, I have to really simplify the general palette that these artists used, not only to make it practical for soap making, but also to capture not just one of the paintings that these artists did, but to try to average out what they generally used. So just kind of showing you what's going on in my mind for this. Just like Cezanne, I'm going to sit down with my soap and have a general idea in my mind and where I want to go, be prepared with my micas, and then basically when I get to pouring the soap, I want to just go for it. So this is a video about how I captured Cezanne's Mont Sainte-Victoire, which basically has that shape to it. So let's get on with the soap making. Okay, I'm going to blend my oils in kaolin clay. I'm going to stir in my lye solution, blend that a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to split up my batter, and the most I need is this light blue, so that's some light blue mica with some titanium dioxide, so I want it really light. I want this turquoise light color and an orangey gold, a little bit of this black. I think I really want a little bit more than this black, so I'll take from this blue. The blue won't show up in the black. So let's blend this. Let me stir it a little first. This will get a little lighter when I blend the titanium dioxide in there. And the black. It's more of a charcoal gray. Then I'm going to stir in the fragrance and then blend it a little bit. It's really behaving itself too, so that's good. I'm going to give this black a little more of a stir, because I don't think I'm even going to blend that small amount, because it always thickens up if you blend a small amount of soap. So let me just stir that well. And I'll just give everything a quick blend. And then we'll be ready to pour. Okay, so let me prepare for my in the pot swirl. I'm going to add all my blue. That looks great. Then I'm going to pour the golden orange down deep and then close to the surface. Get some of the turquoise in there. And I'm going to keep some. Same thing with this black. a little bit of that. And I'm going to pour this horizontally. Let me move the camera. I'm going to attempt to pour this from side to side. That way it'll make the little landscape look that I want. Let's get some of this green in there. And I'll get some of the black there. That looks good. I'm going to start shaping some of this with a popsicle stick. Do some micro drizzles. Pistachio. Just a little bit of this black. And some of this. Trying to aim this for the lower part of each third, going horizontally. I just decided I want something broader to make little strokes up and down. As if they were painted on. Okay, now I'm going to just go across the tops. Get my dividers in there. Let's see if I can fine-tune these a little bit. I really think I should add some texture to these, and it might be a little too soon. I'm going to wait a little bit and bring you back for that. I just added a icicle mica mixed with some ice blue mica and dribbled that on the top parts of each bar. I wasn't really satisfied with how everything got blended and became so dark. So I want a suggestion of sky, and I'm going to kind of just give that some texture. I'm kind of aiming that blue to make a better skyline, and if I work with the skyline, I'm actually shaping a mountain, but I'm also integrating the mica into the soap a little, so it's doing several things. Wipe off my stick and add some more little slashes into the soap. Since Cezanne bridged the gap between impressionism and cubism, it's good to have some of this geometric work in the soap too. I think everything has a little bit of gold in it, but gold orange, but in the cases where it doesn't, I'm going to add a little bit more. Now I'm going to add some textures going the other way. And if you look at Cezanne's work, you'll see that there's like brushwork going vertically and going horizontally. It's really like a oil painting consistency now, and I'm familiar with that, so that has really helped me. Maybe this one too. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So let's give that a spray of alcohol. They look like 18 little landscapes. So this recipe has some goat milk in it, so that'll help it to gel. It'll heat up. So I'm going to put it to bed and then bring you back for the cut. Okay, let's get this out of the mold. Came out pretty easily that time. I think these gelled in the mold, so they'll come out nice and easy, as they always do. There we go. Pull them out of the mold. So I'm finding out that with the milk, the goat milk in this recipe, it gels and it cures at a higher temperature. The soaps tend to sweat a little bit and they pull right out of the mold, and actually it's easier to get this whole thing out of the wooden slab too. And I've noticed that every time I've done that, so I'm pretty sure that that's what I'm going to do when I use this mold. Sides are really slick. And I plan for this one to be a little landscape composition in each bar. So far, so good. The micas are very iridescent. I'm really impressed with this icicle mica from Rustic Essential. The titanium dioxide just would not work as a drizzle so much. It's very matte and the white would be everywhere. But this icicle mica is pearlescent white, and when I combined it with the blue mica, I was able to use that as a drizzle for that sky area. So it worked really well. So they're all out of the mold, and I'm going to clean them up. Thanks for watching again. Again, tell you about my Instagram page at Vibrant Soap if you want to see the things that inspire me and influence some of my designs. Noticing characteristic of my page on Instagram now too is that if I start doing orange soap, I'm noticing that I'm putting a lot of other inspirational things that I see that are orange too. So there's a connection there. And thanks for subscribing, and thanks for the comments, and we'll catch you on the next video. Bye everybody.